Good morning to all of you. This is Preeti Sagar and welcome back to the current affairs session. So I have taken up all such important news which are in the discussion and which were in the discussion in the past week. So first topic of the day, that is about Global Electric Vehicle Outlook Report 2021. देखो, electric vehicle, if we are talking about these days, after USA is coming back to Paris climate meet, many of the things, many of the events, many of the discussions are going on to combat the problem of climate change. Okay, climate justice we have discussed. We discussed carbon neutrality or net carbon neutral. So too many things are going on. Too many reports that are being published by many of the publishers or many of the agencies. So here, Global Electric Vehicle Outlook 2021 that has been published by International Energy Agency. And if they have published such report, it means they will find out the countries who are working on the implementation of electric vehicle, which will combat the problem of environmental pollution. Okay, so electric vehicle, it means it will try to come down the carbon content, or it will try to come down the pollutant that gets assimilated into the environment because of vehicular emission. Okay, because of vehicular emission. So here the important thing about this report is that it has been published by International Energy Agency, and questions based on these kind of reports every year UPSC asked in your prelims examination. So and so report published by which of the following organizations? Okay, so here that is IEA, and India is part of, or India is member of this International Energy Agency. You should remember, you should know about this. So 3 million new electric cars that had been registered in 2020, and it was 41% higher than those which had been registered in a year before, that was 2019. So as per the report, if governments will start working and if it will ramp up their efforts to meet international climate goals, then number of these global electric vehicles that is going to be increased to 230 million by 2030. And if you remember, Paris climate meet, which had been signed in 2016, the target to achieve whatever obligations were there in the Paris climate meet, that was up to 2030. So in this report, it has been found out that if countries will ramp up its production, ramp up the usage of electric vehicle in the countries, then they would be able to meet the international climate goals by 2030. Okay, and they will and the usage of these global electric vehicle, it will be increased to 30 million by 2030. So currently there are 10 million electric cars on the road. It means 10 million is already on the road. So we have to, or countries have to increase, or they have to boost up the production, they have to boost up the implementation of these schemes in their own countries. Korea, it has been found that it has large number of hydrogen cars distributed in the world. In the world, it means it is an exporter, okay, of these hydrogen based cars or electric vehicles. So if we talk about sales of electric cars in 2020, so sales of these cars in 2020, that concentrated by 16%. Why? Because of COVID-19 pandemic, because of shutdown of economic activities. So people were not in the mood, or people were not in the position to invest money in these stuffs. Okay, so it has been shown that it was only 16%. Then it started increasing in the first quarter of 2021 when economic ease was there. It was seen in the countries. So 2021, in the first quarter, some ramp up had been seen in the sale of these electric cars, and sales during the first quarter of 2021, that was 2.5 times higher than during the same period it has been sold out in 2020. It means in the first quarter, the purchase or sale of these electric vehicles that had increased. Just a second, guys. Now, consumers who are spending on electric cars, how much they have spent on this. So on the electric cars in the year 2020, it had been amounted somewhere $120 billion, and there was seen an increase of 50% as compared to what has been invested in 2019. It means despite of pandemic, despite of COVID-19, the increase, spending or investing on the electric vehicles, it has been shown, or it has been increased by 50% as compared to a year before 2019. So what is there for India in this report? So as per the report, somewhere around 30% of new vehicle sales in 2020, in 2030, that will be of electric vehicles in India. So these days people are not so fascinated to buy electric vehicles because of too many reasons, because of infrastructure problem, because of money problem, because of economic problem. So here the sale would ramp up, that will go increase by 2030, and 30% new vehicles, new electric vehicles will be seen on the roads. Okay, so electric vehicle penetration in our country, that will lead by electric three-wheelers and electric two-wheelers. So basically four-wheelers cars, if we talk about, so it is not in the pipeline, but it is there in the pipeline. But if we see the penetration of electric vehicles these days, so that is electric three-wheelers or electric two-wheelers. So in the coming days as well, it will be seen the same situation. So report has also said that electrification of buses will be lower, and it will be somewhere 15% of total sales of vehicles by 2030. It means till 2030, the buses or electric fight buses, that will be lower, okay, in numbers. So that is mainly why, because of easier registration of two-wheelers and three-wheelers under FAME 2 scheme. FAME 2 scheme, that is that had been implemented by Ministry of Road and Transportation. So that has been implemented, so that electric vehicle circulation can be done under this scheme. And this scheme, basically, it has allowed the easier registration of three-wheelers and two-wheelers. So it will be difficult for those four-wheeler cars or buses to get registered themselves, because of too many reasons. Because we have to ramp up the production units of charging stations, or production units of these vehicles, then charging station installation. So too many things are there. So because of that, what is happening here, in the first phase, they have said, or ministry had said, that electric vehicles will be formulated on the road. Then it has been said in the second phase of this FAME scheme, or FAME 2 scheme, you can say, that registration has been made eased out, or easier, you can say. So three and two-wheelers can be easily registered. So that is why it has been predicted that people will prefer to buy three or two-wheelers, okay, of electric vehicles. So report has also said that only 3% of allocated funds under FAME 2 scheme, that will go that has been used for the purchase of 30,000 vehicles. Okay, so till now only 3% funds had been allowed under this scheme, so that 30,000 vehicles had been purchased, and it has circulated in the on the roads. Okay, so that is all about this article. So we need to what are the key takeaways in the article? The key takeaways about the India's position, what India is doing in this, and you must have some information regarding FAME 2 scheme or FAME scheme. हाँ धरनी बिल्कुल, that is the name of this scheme. Now, the second article of the day, that is also related with the first article, that Niti Aayog has called for electric vehicle purchase subsidy in addition to FAME 2 subsidy. So in this this FAME 2 scheme, that will provide subsidy for those consumers who are spending on the purchase of these electric vehicles. So Niti Aayog has said that electric vehicle purchase subsidy will be added into the FAME 2 subsidy. Okay, that is a very good step to boost up the purchase of electric vehicles. So Niti Aayog recently has announced that Government of India should provide incentives on the purchase of electric vehicles over and above which is existing on the or which is existing under FAME 2 scheme. So it has also recommended to provide interest subvention on loan amount which has been taken for electric vehicle purchase. देखो फेम 2 जो है वो फेम का ही एक्सटेंशन है. दैट इज द सेकंड फेज ऑफ फेम स्कीम व्हिच धरनी हैज रिटन. व्हाट इज द फुल फॉर्म? दैट इज फास्टर अडॉप्शन एंड मैन्युफैक्चर ऑफ हाइब्रिड इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स. ठीक है. इसमें क्या था? दैट इन द फेम स्कीम इट हैज बीन अनाउंस्ड बाय नितिन गडकरी दैट इंडिया इज नाउ गोइंग टू going to shift on the electric vehicles. Okay, so it has been introduced in the country so that electric vehicles can be sold out or people can purchase it. Okay, so it had to be implemented in 2017 itself, but it didn't got implemented. Why? Because of infrastructure problem. Infrastructure means charging stations we do not have. We are dependent on China and other countries for the batteries. Okay, so we have to do some research and development on the production of batteries so that long-lasting batteries can be made. Okay, and charging stations can be installed. More and more charging stations can be installed. Then its second phase came out in 2017 or 18 somewhere. So its second phase came out, and in this, the purchase of famed electric vehicles that has been ramped out. Few of the charging stations has been made. Okay, had been installed in Bangalore. It has been installed. So in this FAME 2 scheme, subsidies had been provided to those people who are spending their money on the purchase of electric vehicles. Okay, it means it was an advancement of FAME scheme. Okay, that was faster adoption and manufacture of hybrid electric vehicles. So that was an advancement of the existing scheme that was called FAME 2. Okay, Anu. Now, what recommendations Niti Aayog has given? Yeah. So what recommendations Niti Aayog has given? So apart from these interest subvention and additional subsidies, Niti Aayog has recommended to create non-financial incentives. And these non-financial incentives includes parking for electric vehicles in commercial complexes. Okay. Then some priority lanes will be made or provided for these electric vehicles. So these are what? These are incentives and these are non-financial in nature. Ab dekho why it has been said as incentive. Incentive means what? On the performance, some encouragement has to be given. That is called that is the meaning of incentive, that in the form of payment, in the form of any award, incentives are to be given. So here non-finance incentive is to be provided, that has to be provided as per the recommendation of Niti Aayog. And what are those? These are parking facilities in the commercial complexes, and priority lanes should be made for these electric vehicles. Okay. Then Niti Aayog that also recommended about green zones should be demarcated within cities that permit only electric vehicles. Okay. So identification of these electric vehicles can be done easily. Okay. If green zone would be made or would be dedicated or demarcated for these electric vehicles. So just say we are having dedicated freight corridors for railways. So similarly, they have recommended that for these electric vehicles running, what we need to have green zones. Okay. So they also said that heavy taxes should be charged on conventional fuel vehicles. Now see, vehicles, then what would be its consequences? The first thing is that what Niti Aayog has said, its direct consequence is that we do not, or we as India, okay, India do not have much number of electric vehicles. If it is available at higher cost. Okay. If it is available, it cannot be afforded by middle class. Okay. And middle class is a largest taxpayer in the country. they are largest taxpayer section of the society. So they do not have much money to invest on the purchase of electric vehicles. So if Niti Aayog has recommended, so it would may have some direct consequences on that. Okay, people, they are in the mood, or they are in the favor to buy conventional fuel vehicles. Why? Because if electric vehicles they would go for, as I've said, infrastructure problem is there. In big cities you will find some charging stations, but few charging stations are there. And if we are talking about charging stations, that means as we are having petrol pumps, which is located within the few kilometers ambit. So on the same line, we also need to have infrastructures or charging stations for these electric vehicles. Then we can think about running of electric vehicles in large or greater numbers. Then the recommendation of Niti Aayog can be implemented about heavy taxation charged on the conventional fuel vehicles. Anyhow, they have recommended this so that people should not go to purchase of conventional one. They should think of electric one. Okay, and if we see the speed, the mileage, so mileage is greater in these conventional fuel vehicles, not in the electric vehicles. The speed would be slower. Okay, so too many things are there, comparative comparisons are there. So anyhow, they have recommended to go for heavy taxation. Then green corridors that need to be created that allow only e-buses. Okay, so first was green zones for the electric vehicles, the two-wheelers or three-wheelers. Okay, then e-buses, if it will be circulated on the roads, then for them green corridor needs to be made, needs to be created. The national level policy should be formulated to incentivize distribution utilities that are investing on electric vehicle charging infrastructure. Okay, so a national level policy should be come out, should be formulated so that incentive distribution can be invested on the infrastructure or charging infrastructure of these electric vehicles. Then financial institutions of our country, they should encourage to extend their lending facility to the electric motor mobility sector. So here financial institutions, they should also show some confidence in these electric mobility sector so that they can provide finance to these people. Okay, so that they can ramp up the manufacture of electric vehicles in the country. Or if assemblage is going on, then also they can spend on that. So finance facility should be provided so that manufacturing of these electric vehicles can be boosted up, can be implemented. So charging infrastructure developers should also allocate a portion of the land for open public amenities like food zones, cafeteria, etc., or such provisions that had been included in Madhya Pradesh electric vehicle policy. So Madhya Pradesh electric vehicle policy that has also said about that at the charging infrastructure, there should be some land allocated for such amenities like public resting spaces, food zones, cafeteria. Okay, so that has also been said or recommended by Niti Aayog. Then electricity regulator, that should be mandated so that they can provide a mechanism to approve rate basing of utility investing in building electric vehicle charging infrastructure. So regulation, electricity regulation should also be imposed, or these regulator, they should make it mandatory to provide mechanism to approve rate basing of utility investment. Rate basing means what? It means any electricity appliances, they are running on the rate basis, 5-star rating, 4-star rating. It means what is the consumption of electricity on that appliance. So that should also be labeled on these electric vehicles. So the mechanism to approve rate-basing utility investment in the manufacturing of these electric vehicle charging infrastructure should be implemented by these electricity regulators. Okay. Now see, too many people, they are too many agencies, they are involving in this. Okay. Better non-financial incentives should be given to those people who are purchasing these electric vehicles. Okay, who are showing confidence to purchase these electric vehicles. See, non-financial incentives, what they are giving? They are giving spaces to park the car, okay, in the commercial complexes at free of cost. Okay, they would not get charged. Then dedicated parking lanes should be given to them. These are non-financial incentives. So whom you will give? You will give to those people who are using it. है ना, ठीक है. That is related to the agency distributing the electric vehicle. देखो, they are asking, or Niti Aayog is asking for electricity regulator. Okay, electricity regulator means what? Who are distributors. Okay, electricity distributors. So see, if charging station is there, so how you will charge your car? Obviously you need electricity for this. And in so and so city, who is the electricity regulator? These are distributors. Okay, so they are talking about distributors basically. Okay, so they should go for these rate-based utility of these electric vehicle charging infrastructure. Okay, that's true, Dharni. If you will purchase these, you will get subsidy on the purchase. Then you will get another, additional subsidy, which has been recommended by the Niti Aayog. That additional subsidy should also be given to them, and non-financial incentive should be given to the purchaser or given to the consumer. Okay, so financial and non-financial both you will get. देखो यही तो है ना, why they are doing this? They are doing this so that people can show their confidence in the electric vehicles, because after implementation of these fame and fame 2 scheme, the manufacture or purchasing of these electric vehicles, that has not been boosted up. Because why? Because people have not shown their confidence. People like speed up cars. Okay, they like conventional fuel cars. Okay, why? Because it gives good mileage. Easily you can get petrol or diesel. So too many things are there. People like good accessories in the cars. So if these things are there, so comparatively, if the government, if they are thinking to shore up these electric vehicles, so they should come up with all such facilities. Okay, but here they have to boost up the production, to boost up the purchase of these cars. They are providing incentives to the people, financial and non-financial. Okay. So why these recommendations had been made? So government had notified National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020, which is aiming to increase domestic manufacturing capacities of these electric vehicles, and FAME 2 scheme, which has launched to stimulate the electric vehicle market. Okay, so to boost up the production, to boost up the purchase of electric vehicle, they have come up with these recommendations by Niti Aayog, or think tank of the country. So in spite of these measures, share of electric vehicles in the total sale of vehicle sales in the country, that is only 1%. So Niti Aayog has come up with these recommendations so that people can show their confidence in the purchasing of electric vehicles or shifting from conventional to electric vehicles. Okay? Any questions, any doubts in this? You can ask here. No questions, no doubts. Shall I move on the next one? Okay, chalo. Next article, that is about a military or naval exercise, rather you can say, or defense exercise you can say. That is Varun 2021 edition, and this exercise had been conducted between India and France. Now see, this is another type of question which is prelims based. Okay, in prelims examination, some exercises can be mentioned and you can ask in the form of pairing. Okay, Varun exercise, India France, Yudh Abhyas, India China, hand in hand, India USA. So now you have to find out which is the correct pair. Then they can name some of the exercise, and you would be given some options that it has been conducted between which of the countries: India, China, India, USA, India, France, India, Russia. So you should have information regarding all such exercises which has been conducted in a year. And nowadays, I have find out all these measures are there to increase demand. However, there is no measure taken to increase the production, I mean assimilation parts. So then how will demand be capped? Dekho, Sanskriti, I have said this. Too many things are there on which the government needs to work upon. Sif manufacturing hi nahi hai. If we are thinking about manufacturing, then manufacturing, it means from nut and bolt to entire body. Okay, that is the meaning of manufacturing. So as a whole, if you are manufacturing in the country, then you need to boost up the manufacture. If you are manufacturing only spare parts, then you need to boost up the manufacture. So too many things are there. But here, what country is doing? Country is doing on the, not on the ground level, but they are trying to achieve the another level, which has the ground level, which has not been formulated, but they are boosting up the incentives. It means these electric vehicles, government must be importing from different countries. Okay, so by this, what they are doing, they are initially they are importing these cars, and people, they are boosting people's confidence so that they can purchase these cars. Then later on, they will come up on the manufacturing of parts or spare parts or cars as a whole. Okay, so too many things are there which government has to work upon. ठीक है, चलो. Now, yeah, where I was on the exercises. So I was saying, in a year, too many exercises are being conducted, and that got conducted between two different countries. So here, this Varun exercise that has been conducted between India and France. So here, two things are important. One, prelims based question, that Varun exercise that has been conducted between India and France. Another thing for your mains examination, India and France relationship. ठीक है, अब देखो, इंडिया एंड फ्रांस, दे आर शेयरिंग वेरी गुड रिलेशनशिप. Okay, it is a kind of friendly relation. They are friendly to each other. France support India at many of the places, many of the platforms. And if this exercise has been conducted, acha, one more thing is that if naval exercise they are talking about, they have conducted this naval exercise. It means what? It means these exercise, with the help of these exercises, they are exchanging the technologies what these countries are owning. Okay, so defense ties can be boosted up, trade relations can be boosted up, international relations can be boosted up. So too many things are there to be discussed between India and France. So you need to have your or you need to keep your eyes on the India-France relationship mains examinations too. Okay, that is under paper 2, GS paper 2. So for that, you have to make some points regarding India and France relationship, where they are supporting each other in the marine front, on the marine front, on the trade front, on the diplomatic front, okay, on the defense front. Some sale and purchase are been happening, then you have to mention these things regarding these two countries. And similarly, it is for different countries too, India, Japan, India, USA. India, Japan, India, USA, too many things are going on since last year. Quad, you know, that was in the discussion, we discussed about that. Malabar exercise, too many things are going on these days. Paris climate meet, leaders summit on climate change. So many things are going on between India and USA, then India and Japan. Okay, so you need to list out all such countries which India is having diplomatic relations, and these are in the discussion. One thing which I find out recently, I was going through your prelims question paper 2020. Yeah, 2020, which has been held last year in October. What I find out, you know, if we talk about current affairs, they are not asking current affairs of a year, which is being recommended to every aspirant, that if you are going to give 2021, then you need to keep your eyes on 2020 events, to 2020 to 2021. But that is not true. Somewhere I have found that they have asked questions which belong to 2018 as well. For example, the first question of the A series, that was based on the Aadhaar based question. So that was in the discussion in 2018, and they asked that question in 2020. It means at least 2 to 3 years current affairs, and the important current affairs, not this smaller or minute one. The important current affairs, you need to have information related to those. Okay, you need to follow those current affairs. You need to follow those those events, which has been held in which has been held 2 or 3 years back, and that is still in the continuation. So whenever you read current affairs, whenever you read current events, please go through in the details. Okay. Chalo. Now coming back to the topic. So what is about Varun exercise? So that is a naval exercise, and exercise that included surface and anti-weapon firings, tactical maneuvers, rotary wing flying operations that has included cross-deck helicopter landings, and air defense and anti-submarine exercises. So these are what? These are those techniques, these are those technological equipment of these countries which they have showed up in the exercise. They have, facilitated in this exercise. So Indian Navy, represented by stealth destroyer INS Kolkata, INS Talwar, INS Tarkash, fleet support ship INS Deepak, Chetak integral helicopters, and INS Kalwari class submarine, and P-81 long-range petrol aircraft participated in this exercise. Okay, so these are those equipment, these are those technologies which India has showed up in this exercise, and France has showed up cross-deck helicopter landing, tactical maneuvers, rotary wing flying operators, anti-weapon firings, etc., etc. Okay, so these details are not important, but still you need to go through it. Okay, then French Navy represented E2C Hawk Eye aircraft, Rafale M fighter, Horizon class air defense destroyer, Chevalier Paul. Okay, so they represented these. Then after Varun 2021 exercise, INS Tarkar, it will continue its exercise with the French Navy. Navy's name is CSG. So it will continue its exercise with the French Navy. And in this exercise, navies will conduct advanced surface, air defense operations, and anti-submarine operations. So different techniques and different types of operations will be conducted between Indian and French Navy. Okay, and from Indian Navy, INS Tarkash will be participated in this. Okay, so surface defense would be there, air defense, it means on surface if any threat comes, then how they are going to tackle it up. Then on the air defense they will conduct this exercise. Then anti-submarine operations will also be conducted. Okay, so you need to remember this, that INS Tarkash and French Navy CSG, they have continued this exercise with surface, air defense operation, and anti-submarine operations. So it is on the surface, in the air, and on the water body. So all the three are being included in this exercise after this Varun exercise. Okay. Then another is Clemenceau 2021 or Clemenceau 2021. So on 21st February 2021, French carrier strike group that set a sail for a long operational deployment, which has been named as Clemenceau 21. So this mission, in this mission, French Navy deployed its military presence in the area of strategic importance or interest, that was in the Mediterranean Sea, Persian Gulf, and Indian Ocean. In the Indian Ocean, they are owning one island, that is Reunion Island, I guess. Okay, that belongs to, I'm not sure, but I guess that belongs to France only in the Indian Ocean. That is why they conducted this exercise, Clemenceau. So as a part of this Clemenceau 21, France held Gosvex with its allies. Who were those allies? These allies were France, Japan, Belgium, and US forces. So that was the Gasvex exercise. Okay. So that held in Arabian Sea and Gulf of Oman. So remember this Gasvex exercise, that was India was not part of this. Okay. Then CSG, that was mentioned in the the exercise which has been continued after this Varun between INS Tarkash and French Navy, France Navy CSG. So what was that CSG? CSG is Career Strike Group, which is strategically pre-positioned. Okay, and somewhere composed 7,500 personnel in this strike group. So that includes aircraft carrier, destroyer squadron, and which is having at least one cruiser. Okay, carry wing of 65 to 70 aircrafts in it. So occasionally it also includes submarines. So it not mandatory, but occasionally it includes submarines. But mandatorily, what it includes some carrying wings of 60 to 70 aircrafts, then aircraft carrier, destroyer squadron, etc. Then CSG of Japan, that also had participated in Clemenceau 21 in that is Nationals Charles de Gaulle. Okay, that was the name of that exercise between France and Japan of this Clemenceau. Okay, so that is all about this article. What is important, that was about Varun exercise, and additional informations are associated with this France information. Okay, so that you can go through it. Any questions in this, you can ask here. No questions? Shall I move on the another one? Shravan, please put off your camera. But a Gazvig exercise, that was a France exercise with other allies, and these allies who were situated in the Arabian Sea, Gulf of Oman, Mediterranean Sea, Persian Gulf, and Indian Ocean. Okay, and who were those participants? Participants were France initiated, Japan, Belgium, and US forces. So basically, US have patrolling station in Indian Ocean. Okay, then in the Mediterranean as well. Then Japan became part of it, Belgium became part of it. Okay, so they held that exercise basically in the Arabian Sea and Gulf of Oman. Okay, chalo. Guys, please put off your camera. It is very disturbing for me. Okay, yes, bilkul. India is not part of this. Priya, please put off your camera. Priya Tyagi. Chalo. So India wasn't part of it. India was only part of Varun exercise. ठीक है, ये उसकी कुछ additional information है that I discussed here. Chalo. Next article, that was about Python 5. Okay, so Python 5, which is had been developed, or which has had been built by DRDO. Okay, so that is Python 5 air-to-air missile. Here you can see the picture of it. So DRDO recently has test fired this series of missile trials, and which includes Derby missile and Python missiles. So these were test fired in Goa, and it was 100% success. Okay, that was 100% success. So DRDO has announced that Python 5 air-to-air missile that has successfully added to light combat aircraft Tejas. So it will associate light combat aircraft Tejas. Okay, so that you need to remember. Another information that Python 5 is air-to-air missile. Dekho, questions on these kind of defense equipment that also may asked in your prelims examination. That once UPSC asked about Agni 5 missile. Okay, in these statements they gave that it is a surface to air missile. So these kind of technologies or details of technologies you need to remember, you need to have information of. So here this Python 5 is what? That is air to air missile. It means it will be launched in the air, and it will destroy its enemy or destroy its target in the air itself. So it is what? Air to air missile system, and it will get associated with the light combat aircraft Tejas. So this Python 5, why it has named as 5? Because it is fifth generation of Python missile. So that is air-to-air built missile built by Israeli weapon manufacturer Rafael Advanced Defense System. Okay, so my mistake, it wasn't indigenous, but only DRDO has test fired it. It was made by Israeli weapon manufacturer, that is Rafael Advanced Defense System. Israeli government, they started its manufacturing in the name of Shafir. So initially it was named, or it was given a name of Shafir, and later on when they started exporting these missiles, so they gave a Western name to it, and it was named as Python or Derby. Okay. So this Python 5, that is most capable air-to-air missile system in the inventory of Israel, and it is based on visual range missile system. Okay, it means it has some targeted range. Okay, so visual range missile system, it is it can go beyond that. Okay, so some target can be set, and it can go beyond that range system. So beyond visual range missiles are those missiles that are capable of engaging the ranges beyond 37 kilometers. So range is 37 kilometers, and it can go beyond that. So features are advanced seeker that includes electro-optical and image infrared homing. So that is capable to scan the targeted area for the hostile aircraft, and it can also lock on the thermal chase. Then it was first used in the Lebanon War of 2006, and it successfully destroyed 2 Iran-made UAVs, okay, unmanned aero vehicles. So speed of this missile is Mach 4, and the weight of this missile is 11 kilograms. So these are some minute details of it. You can have some points of these. Then what is Derby? So Derby is just another type of Python missile, and it was also made by Rafael of Israel. So Python 5, that is advanced version of Derby. And it is also a beyond visual range missile, which is active radar homing missile. And active radar homing missile is what? That is a missile which contains radar transceiver to find and track the target autonomously. Okay. It means if we talk about this active radar homing missile, so that is what? That is the radars, it can whatever signals it is receiving, so it can transfer these. Okay, so transceiver it is, so they can find and they can track the target on their own, okay, autonomously. So that was the Derby system, and Python is the extension or advancement of it. Okay, any questions in this you can ask here. Any questions, or I should move ahead? Chalo. देखो, beyond visual range missile, it means what? It means every missile they have set a target. Okay, target, it means so and so kilometers they can destroy its target. So the target has been set for these visual range missile system is 37. But if we say beyond visual range missile system, so beyond means what? That after the last what's it, the reaching point of the target, that is 37 kilometers, so it can go beyond that as well. So beyond visual range missile system working, it means what? It means that it can hit its target beyond the set target or beyond the reaching point. Okay, that is 37 kilometers. So 37 kilometers के बाद भी अगर target उसको मिलता है, that is 40 kilometers or 45 kilometers, so it can hit its target beyond that. ठीक है श्रवण? Infrared, you said that is a laser beam. Okay, that is a laser beam. You must have seen some laser lights. Okay, so infrared means what? That a laser beam is being used to find out its target. Okay, so it is working on that. Chalo. Now, next article, that is about Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Act. I have discussed the details of this. GNCTD, please don't do that. Priya, please, bhai, kuch mat karo isme. Okay, don't do that. So GNCTD Amendment Act, I have already discussed in the details. Fir bhi I will discuss about it. Okay, what it is all about. And basically, what is the news about this? That it has come in the force in Delhi. So that is what the full form is, Government of NCTD, that is National Capital Territory of Delhi, in Delhi. So in the budget session in Lok Sabha, this bill has been introduced, and what it has said that whatever actions will be taken by Delhi government, that will not be on the name of Delhi government, but it will reflect, or it will be shown that the decision has been taken by the governor or lieutenant governor rather. Okay, so lieutenant governor. So for example, if we see all the actions, all the decisions are being taken in India on the name of president. है ना, यही होता है, whatever decisions are being taken in India, that is on the name of president. Similarly, in the Union Territory, and especially in the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi. So here, whatever action, whatever decision will be taken, that will be taken on the name of Lieutenant Governor, not on the name of Delhi government. Okay, so that was the bill all about. It was introduced in the budget session in Lok Sabha. It got passed in that. Then it was transferred to Rajya Sabha. It also got passed in that because of a vast majority of the center. Then it has given to the president's assent. So president has given assent to it. Now it has to be implemented in Delhi. Now see, what is the clash point? Clash point is that Delhi is not a state. Delhi is a union territory. In the union territory, which is having which is having legislative assembly. Okay, that is Delhi and Puducherry. So the head of the state, who will be that? That will be lieutenant governor. Okay, and all such union territories which do not have legislative assembly, the head of the state is administrator. So administrator, which is an agent of president, that looks after the administration of that union territory. And in the case of union territories having legislative assemblies, lieutenant governor is being appointed, which is an administrator. Okay, this lieutenant governor, that is an administrator. So that is been appointed for the union territories having legislative assembly. Now, if we see Delhi, that is said that it is a political capital of the country. Okay, it means Delhi is having very vast importance in many of the terms because it is a political country, capital of the country. Being an union territory, being a political capital of the country, if you see all such matters that comes under the purview of Delhi government, except police, land, and law and order. Okay, so these three things that is out of the purview of Delhi government. So whenever any situation comes when police is required, so orders can only be given by the central government, not by the Delhi government. Okay, land also belongs to central government, not to the Delhi government. So, and another decisions are also there. So whatever now decisions is going to be taken, that will be on the name of lieutenant governor. Okay, not on the name of Delhi government. And we have seen what happens. Every governor of the state that has given discretionary power. I hope you guys are aware of it. And we know that the discretionary power of governors is wider than the discretionary power is having with president. It means discretion has been given to the governor on the matter which he thinks that any matter is suitable for him to be escalated to the president. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? It means whatever bill has been passed by the state government. Okay, so that is his discretion that so and so matter needs to be discussed with the parliament. That is his discretion, and that is why we say that governor's discretionary power is wider than the president's discretionary power. Okay, so here what happened in the past in 2018, basically when Aam Aadmi Party government was there, it is still ruling. Most of the time it used to happen that Supreme Court has given its ruling on the issue basically. And before that, what used to happen when Najib Jung was the lieutenant governor of Delhi, and he was he belonged to the ruling party. Okay, but governor or lieutenant governor, if we see, so they do not belong to any party. But obviously he used to be the part of BJP. Then he was made lieutenant governor, and he was posted on the or appointed in the Delhi. Okay, so what happened? Most of the time, whatever bill that used to be passed by the Delhi government, it used to get reserved by lieutenant governor, and that bill was reserved for the parliament's discussion or the president's recommendation. Okay, ऐसा होता है ना, every governor is given some power that they can reserve a bill if they think that this is an important matter and it needs to get discussed in the parliament. It happens. So that is a discretionary power to governor or lieutenant governor. So LG of Delhi, he used to do that. So in 2018, Supreme Court, Delhi government filed a case against this. So in 2018, Supreme Court has said that this is a discretionary power given to the LGs or governors, but they should keep it in mind. First thing is that Delhi government should keep it in mind that Delhi is not a state, it is an union territory. So Delhi government, whosoever is ruling in the Delhi, they should not think that they are the owner, or they are the sole governing body in the union territory. They are only a government. They have some limited powers, so they should discharge those limited powers, because it is an union territory, it is not a state. Okay, so whatever power they will discharge in a limited way. It has been said by Supreme Court. Another thing which has been said by Supreme Court, that it is a discretionary power of an LG or a governor, that they can reserve a matter for the further discussion in the parliament. But here one more thing has been added. They said any matter does not mean every matter. ठीक है, any matter does not means every matter. मतलब हर एक मुद्दा जरूरी नहीं है कि आप सेंटर के पास लेकर के जाओ. Okay, any matter, if you think that it fits to be discussed, then you can reserve that. Not every matter you can do that. That has been said by the Supreme Court. But what is the point of clash here? अच्छा धरनी, I'll come on that. वही हम discuss कर रहे हैं. Okay, I'll come on this. इसको समझो पहले, then I'll give your answer on this. ठीक है? So that happened. So ये सब होता रहा. Then this year, what happened? Because of growing clashes between Delhi government and central government, central government, they came up with this bill in the Lok Sabha. It had got passed that every decision. Acha, one more thing has happened in 2018 somewhere perhaps. What happened? There was one matter. Okay, I'm forgetting the bill. There was a bill that Delhi government that presented it to the where it has presented. I think some matter was there. I'm forgetting the entire episode. Some matter was there, and that matter, the file that has got returned to Delhi government. Why? Because there was an impression, there was mentioned that this matter is being presented by the Delhi government. Okay, that belongs to Delhi government. So it was changed to Delhi. It was asked to Delhi government to change that it is belong to Delhi government, but rather they should mention it belongs to Lieutenant Governor, and they did that. And that was, it was given as a what is to be said, argument that, of the matter, that the Delhi government themselves has done that once they were asked to change this, that so and so matter does not belong to Delhi government, but it belongs to Lieutenant Governor, and they have done this. So why they are raising questions on this, that on the bill, okay, which has been passed, that every matter from now onwards, whatever action will be taken, that will be taken on the name of governor or lieutenant governor, you can say, in the union territory. Okay, so recently what happened? Recently president has given assent to it. It means now whatever action will be taken, that will be taken on the name of lieutenant governor. So lieutenant governor is the upper office of Delhi government, or NCT, National Capital Territory of Delhi. Okay, now Dharni, your question. What you have asked? You have asked LG of Delhi can withhold the bill for the consideration of president, or his decision on the bill is final. Nahi. Every governor or lieutenant governor would have same powers. Okay, matlab they have discretionary power. If they wants to refer this matter to the president, they can do that. Okay, it is not like that they are the only decision maker, or they cannot present this matter. They can present this matter to the president. Okay, or they can give assent to the bill as well. Okay, so that is based on the discretionary power of the lieutenant governor. Lieutenant governor and governor, it is not a separate body. Okay, unka kya hai? In the state there is governor. In the UT there having legislative assembly, it is there. What is there? That is lieutenant governor. But the functions and the discharge of those duties, that is same. That is similar of the governor and the LGs. Okay, that is. What is that? नहीं, it is not like that. ऐसा कहीं पे भी mention नहीं है, कहीं पे भी नहीं लिखा है that LG is more powerful than governors of the states. It is not like that. Okay, बस यही है, because LG का जो matter है, that has been raised massively in Delhi, not on the Puducherry. Why it has been raised in Delhi on Delhi? Because Delhi is the political capital of the country. So because of that, Delhi is having many importances. Okay, बहुत importance है इसका, relevance is there. That is why always Delhi is been in the news. When Aam Aadmi Party government started ruling, they came in the vast majority. Out of 70 seats, 67 seats has been occupied by them. Opposition, only 3 seats were there. Then in the second session, not 67, but somewhere more than 60, or it was there. Okay, what seats they occupied. It means in the next session as well, no leader of opposition was there. So what government will do? Government is having all such powers in the center. Then they will apply those power in the Delhi. Okay, that is why this tussle has been seen. And LG, most of the time, who are governors and LGs, they belongs to the ruling party. है ना, ऐसा ही होता है. If Congress government would have been there, they would have installed their own candidate as a governor or LG in states and UTs. Okay, so because of the tussle in Delhi and on the Delhi's matter, being a political capital of the country, that is why it has been shown, or it has been portrayed like that LG is more powerful. LG of UT is more powerful than governor of the state, but it is not like that. Every LGs and governors, they are having similar powers. Okay, many political things are there. Because of that, its portrayal has been shown. Chalo. Now coming back to the session. Okay, ठीक है. I'll come on the consequences. पहले इसको discuss करते हैं, then I'll come on the consequences. Okay. So now, what are the key provisions? Key provision is that the Act has proposed the word government in the NCTD that would mean to the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. Matlab, whenever we will say the government, okay, whenever on any of the matter decision taken by the government, if it will be say that this decision has been taken on the name of government, so it will not belong to the Delhi government, but it will belong to the Lieutenant Governor. Okay, so that is the nomenclature of this bill. Then it provides discretionary power to Lieutenant Governor even in the matters where Delhi legislature is empowered to make laws. Now, see here. Who has asked me right now about the consequence? Divjot. Divjot, you asked about the consequence. This is the biggest consequence. Now, see, what is the relevance of Delhi government then? Okay, if they cannot take decisions on matters. Okay, Delhi being a UT, what was there? Law and order, land, police. It does not belong to Delhi government, but it belongs to central government, or it goes to the center. Okay, and now what they have done? They have given a discretionary power to the Lieutenant Governor that in any of the matters where legislature or Delhi legislature has made a law and they are empowered to make law. Okay, so Lieutenant Governor has this power under this new law, this Amendment Act, that they can supersede that, they can repeal that law. Okay, or they can implement that law. So here superseding power has been given to the Lieutenant Governor. So what is that? That is against the democracy. That is the biggest consequences of it. If state government are given powers in the 7th schedule, division of power between center states, okay, union list, state list, concurrent list. So if state would not be able to make laws on the state subject, that can be superseded by governor. Then what is the relevance of the state list? What is the relevance of the lawmaking by the legislature? So that has happened in the case of Delhi. Okay, so here that is the biggest consequence of it, but that is a provision. This dissolves the the power of Delhi government right. That not the dissolution, but it is what superseding. Okay, what Delhi government powers used to have, that was superseded by Lieutenant Governor under this new act. Okay, then this act also seeks to ensure that Lieutenant Governor is granted an opportunity to give his opinion before a decision made by the Council of Ministers is implemented. It means now see, Lieutenant Governor or Governor, if we say, in case of state, in case Lieutenant Governor, in case of Delhi and Puducherry, what happens? Council of Ministers they give recommendation to Lieutenant Governor that this is the matter, we need to make a law. Then it allows and state government that go for lawmaking procedure. So here what provision has been given? Provision has given that this act is seeking to ensure, ensurety is given that that LG is granted an opportunity to give his opinion before a decision made by the Council of Ministers is implemented. If Council of Minister has taken a decision to implement that is in the final form, then LG has given this opportunity to replace it by his own opinion. मतलब Council of Minister ने जो भी decision दिया, that can also be superseded by the Lieutenant Governor. Okay, so Lieutenant Governor has given immense power. Then LG opinion should be obtained before Delhi government takes action based on the decision taken by the cabinet. Then it bars the Legislative Assembly of Delhi from making rules related to day-to-day administration. It means now Delhi government is only a government. On in the name of government they are. Now day-to-day administration too, they have to be dependent on the Lieutenant Governor. Okay, this law has barred Legislative Assembly to make rules related to day-to-day administration. If Delhi being a UT is having Legislative Assembly, what is the meaning of this? It means Delhi can make its own laws on the matters except land, law and order and police. So if they are not able to make laws, if they are not able to take independent decisions on regular basis, then what is the use of the government? Then Delhi is like another union territories where administrator is there. So whatever provisions are being given in this bill, that is against the democratic basis of the constitution, mentioned in the constitution. So these are what? These are consequences. Now, what will be the impact? Impact will be that Delhi government would not have power. Okay, they are now toothless. They cannot take their own decision. Whatever decision, if they will take, that will be in the clash, or that will come in the clash with Lieutenant Governor. These days, Delhi is facing scarcity of oxygen in the hospitals, and Delhi is approaching central government. High Court has said that central government should intervene into the matter. And now on 27th of April, this bill has converted into law. So now it is not the duty of Delhi, CM of Delhi, but now everything will be go in the hands of Lieutenant Governor. Okay, so indirectly, if you would see the indirect control of Delhi would go in the hands of the central government. है ना, indirect control है तो central government का. LG is what? Governor is what? That is agent of the central government, basically. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So if we talk about administration of Delhi, so in National Capital Region, administered with the legislature which came into existence in 1991, and Delhi legislature was constituted under Article 239, Clause AA. And by law, Delhi legislature has all the powers to make laws in matters except public order, land, and police. Okay. So what are the concern? Concern is that this law will take away autonomy of Delhi government. Okay, so Delhi government is toothless now. So Supreme Court, what Supreme Court has said, as I have said that in 2018, this matter when it was referred, the Supreme Court said that LG's concurrence is not required on the issues other than police, land, and public order. LG can only intervene into the matters except these three, because these three belongs to central government. And Supreme Court also said that LG of Delhi is not like a governor in another state. He is only an administrator. Okay, so it has been said by Supreme Court. But here now see, I think LG is now more powerful than governor of the state. Okay, so now you can say that, Dharni, I think you have said this. So now you can say that LG of Union Territory of Delhi or National Capital Territory of Delhi is more powerful than the governor of the state. Why? Because entire decision that will be taken in the impression of Lieutenant Governor, not on the name of Delhi government. Okay. ठीक है, चलो, any questions on this, any doubts in this, you can ask here. Understood everyone? समझ आ गया, clear है? Shall I move ahead? Sure. Now, next question, next article, that is ADB, Asian Development Bank, has raised India's GDP forecast by 11%. Last week, I discussed about SBI's economic forecast. So basically, these are some agencies which give their economic forecast for different countries. For India, it has been said that India is going to rise its GDP by 11% in financial year 2022. Okay, so recently it has released its Asian Development Outlook. Now see, this is also another important report on which UPSC can ask a question in the prelims paper. This Asian Development Outlook is published by which of the following organization? Okay, so Asian Development Bank का जो report है, that is Asian Development Outlook, and they have forecasted economy of India that it will grow, or GDP would be 11% for financial year 2022. So recently it has released its annual outlook, and it says that ADB has provided a financial support of $1.5 billion to India so that it can fight against COVID-19. Okay, so it has also been mentioned that $1.5 billion support has been given to India to combat the consequences of COVID-19. What are the key findings of the report? So as per the report, South Asia is expected to rebound at 9.5% in 2021, and South Asian region has contracted by 6% in 2020. And growth of the South Asian region, it will moderate to 6.6% in 2022. Okay, so for South Asia, it has been said that 9.5% will be the growth of 2021, then 6% contraction has been taking place in 2020, and 6.6% moderate growth will be there in 2022. Okay. Here it is, Ankita. Okay. So it has forecasted its economic forecast for all such regions. Dekho, I am not able to do that. So who has done this? Can you please do this? I think some student has done that, so I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to remove it. Chalo, anyhow, just come back to this. So economic growth of Asia, that is rebounded to 7. अच्छा ठीक है, दिवजोत आ रहे हैं, इसमें rebound का मतलब. So economic growth of Asia, that has rebound to at 7.3% in 2021. Okay, and the region has faced a contraction of 0.2% in 2020. Yeah, sorry. And in 2022, its growth rate that has been forecasted to 5.3%. Okay. So here you have asked what is the meaning of rebound. Basically, economic growth of Asia, if we talk about. So why it has been said to go rebound. It means the economic growth, economic rise which has started in 2021. Because of pandemic, what happened? Some slowdown can be seen. Okay, then again it will boost up. So economy, it is going in a direction. Okay, but because of some hurdles, it gets stopped or it gets lower down, then again it will boost up. Okay, so that is the meaning of basically rebound. Rebound means it was going in a direction, it was going in the direction of increase. Okay, but some hurdle came, it stopped or it got bent down or it got lowered down. Then again with the ease of the economy, it will go up. Okay, so that is the rebound of economy or economic growth. ठीक है, कौन पूछा ये question? Who was there? Divjot. ठीक है, Divjot, that is the meaning of rebound here. Okay, so economic growth of Asia, that has been said that it will rebound to 7.3%, and Asia will face a contraction of mere 0.2%. Okay, so Asia as a whole, all such countries, China, Japan, India, Southeast Asian countries, all such countries will be part of Asia. Okay, so 0.2% will be the growth of contraction was 0.2% in 2020, and 2022 growth rate will be 5.3%. It means it is a big fight for Asian continent. So countries like China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taipei, they are expected to meet an increased growth rate of 7.7% in 2021 and 5.6% be there in the 2022. So report has classified that these countries are newly industrialized countries. So it will be easier for them to grow more. Okay. So GDP of East Asia, that expected to grow at 7.4% in 2021 and 5.1% in 2022. Now see, for all such big and small countries, it has forecasted that will be moderate growth rate, contraction would be there. But for India, it has said that it will go 11% rise. Okay, it will, the economic growth will be 11%. But that is, I don't know how it is impossible, because too many hurdles we are seeing in the economic activities. Many of the states, they have already put lockdowns for the weekends, for the nights. Okay, curfew has been initiated, economic activities has been disrupted, many schools has been closed. These are economic activities of the states. So at what cost and how they are going to grow by 11% in this financial year, I'm really amazed of it. Okay, but they have said, they might have said with some data and figure. Okay, so we can't see that, we can't say that. So now GDP of China, that has also started expanding to 8.1%. Okay, so that 8.1% growth will be of China in 2021 financial year, and it will reach a moderate value of 5.5% in 2022. Strong exports of China is to boost the economic activity of the country in 2021. Okay, so what are the reasons of recovery? Reasons of recovery is that progress in production and delivery of COVID-19 vaccines, that has helped Asia in reaching the current state. Why? Because vaccination, it it was helpful for many countries to curb down the ratio or the cases of COVID-19. Okay, so impact of vaccination can be seen on the people, on the society, and ultimately it has helped to economic growth. Okay, then significant new outbreaks might undermine the growth of the region. The second wave, what we are living in. Okay, so second wave can interrupt the economic activity in between, in the coming days and in these days as well. Now, what are the challenges? So some challenges are faced by Asian economies: increasing geopolitical tensions. What are those geopolitical tensions? India, China, Australia, Japan against, India, USA, China, India, I'm so sorry, India, USA, Japan, Australia versus China. Okay, China is now trying to maintain its relationship, a trade relation it is boosting with Iran. Okay, it is intervening with the help in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, then other neighboring countries. So geopolitical tensions are there. Okay, if China is helping other countries, it means what? It means economic assertiveness is being shown by the China. And India, along with other countries, like-minded countries like Japan, Australia, USA, West Asian countries, what they are doing, they are trying to break down the assertiveness of China. So it has increased geopolitical tensions. Okay, then financial turmoil from tightening financial conditions. So because of pandemic, we are seeing some financial turmoil. Okay, tightened financial conditions are there in the countries. Then production bottlenecks. So when supply will be disrupted, disruption will be seen, then what would happen? Production bottlenecks will take place. It means production has been taken place, but because of disruption in the supply, the produced item is not be able to reach from the to the destination, from source to the destination. So these are what? These are bottlenecks basically. Okay, then long-term scarring. This includes learning losses due to school closures. Now see, if schools are closed down in these states, what is the consequence? आज इसका consequence पता नहीं चलेगा, but it will be seen in the coming future. Now, this year, what has happened? The 10th standard board examination has been cancelled. 12th standard board examination has been extended, postponed. Okay, so postpone चलो फिर भी ठीक है, आज नहीं तो कल it will be conducted. But if 10th board examination has been cancelled, it is having a big consequence on the society, especially on the school curriculum. Because 10th board is a year, or that is a big event for every student, okay, in every student's life. They do lots of hard work so that they can earn so that they can score good marks, so that they can choose their own they can choose their stream, the dream stream. Okay, then they can go for their dream job, whatever they are having. So it means 10th board or the 10th level is the decision maker, okay, in every student's life. But what has happened, because of pandemic, government has decided that they have to cancel the examination. They have cancelled it. So entire hard work of a student in a year that has wasted. Then many students who has to appear in the 12th examination, the 12th board, that has been postponed. So now their enthusiasm or the morale that has lowered down, that they are clueless, they do not have any information, they do not have any clue that when exam is going to be conducted. Then students who used to study in different classes, because of closure of school, what has happened? Studies has hampered. Online classes, some people are favoring in it, many people are not favoring in online classes. They feel it wastage of time, they feel it wastage of money. And another thing is that many people, they do not have those resources if they want their kids to attend those online classes. So because of infrastructure problem, they are not able to do that. Because of their livelihood problem, they are not able to allow their kids. So too many hurdles are there. So long-term scarring would be faced. Okay, these are challenges, and this include losses, the learning losses, that is because of closure of schools for longer time. It was closed in 2020, 2020 for almost a year. Now for 1 month it has opened, but now again it has been closed for uncertain time period. So anyhow, we are going to face too many consequences. And these children, or we, what are we? We are the economy of the country, the future economy of the country. And these students are what? They are the future economy of the country. So if they are not able to learn now, then how they will be able to become part of the economy? Or basically, India is famous for disguised employment, you know? So too many things are there. Anyhow, so that was all about Asian Outlook report, or Asian Development Bank's report, that is Asian Development Outlook. Okay, so as per that, India is going to grow by 11%. How it is going to grow, I don't know whether it is superficial or based on some data. So we do not know about this. No such details has been mentioned here. But still, they have said that they have forecasted for the growth of all such regions, South Asia, Asian region, East Asian region, China, different countries, then Asian region as well. And if you see, among all such Asian countries, India's growth is higher. Okay, so that was there. Any questions, any doubts in this, you can ask here. Any questions? Chalo. Okay. Now, another article, that is Sharla Good Government Index. Okay. The Sharla Good Governance Index that has been released by Sharla Institute of Governance, which is headquartered in Singapore. Okay. So I have taken this index issue. Asha, one more thing is there. Because of the pandemic, or the second wave of this pandemic, lots of international activities or all such activities which was going on, the launches of many programs, so that has been interrupted. So because of that, many of the important news, okay, or important topics for examination, so these are not there in these days. Okay, why? Because of second wave of pandemic, because of closure of economic activities, because of closure of all such activities by the governments of the world. Okay, so these days, some indexes you can see who are publishing their results, who are publishing their reports, and these may be important. Okay, so these are those important news of these days, basically, when world is facing second wave of COVID-19 or coronavirus. Okay, so Shandler Good Governance Index, remember that it is based out of Singapore. Okay, and it has been published by Chandler Institute of Governance. So that is prepared, this index is prepared based on the 7 pillars, which is leadership and foresight, strong institutions, robust laws and policies, attractive marketplace, finance stewardship, helping people rise, global influence, and reputation. So these are those 7 pillars on the basis of which countries has been ranked under good governance index. Okay, so on the basis of these 7 pillars, India's rank of this year, that has been find out 49th. Okay, so India has ranked 49th in this good governance index out of 104 countries. So this rank is not bad. Okay, because India is under 50. 49th है तो क्या हुआ, चलो फिर under 50 तो है, so this is not bad, but it doesn't mean that India is doing good. There are too many things which India need to rectify, which India need to work upon if they really want to do well in the good governance index. Okay, so Finland has topped this ranking, and it is followed by Switzerland, Singapore, Netherlands, Denmark, and Norway. Pakistan, which has placed at 90th place. Sri Lanka is on 74th. Nepal is at 92. Among BRICS countries, China is on 140th. Brazil is 67th. Russia is 48th. And South Africa is at 70. It means Brazil, out of BRICS countries, if we talk about, Russia and India is under 50. Okay, so that recommended pracademics in government. Pracademics is what? That is a rigorous understanding of research and data with the practical sense of what government needs to do to succeed. Okay, that is a practical academics. Okay, pracademics means what? Practical academics, which is a rigorous understanding out on the basis of research and data. Okay, in the practical sense of what government is really doing, or what government need to do to get success in the achievement of good governance. Okay, so it is basis on that. So this Sharla Good Governance Index, it is aiming to strengthen public institutional capacity through research, training, and advice. And it is also supporting governments and public officers worldwide in building the nation. So they are not only publishing the index, they are basically recommending these countries to improve more, who is not working good, doing good. Okay, so they give their recommendations, they help them to build the nation. Okay, so good governance in India, if we talk about, so India India celebrated Good Governance Day on December 25 every year, and Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pensions releases Good Governance Index in the country, and this is an assessment of the initiative of state governments and union territories. So this Good Governance Index of India, that is published, that is a very important fact for the prelims examination. So Good Governance Index of India is being published by Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pensions, okay, which rank out all such states and union territories. On the assessment is done on the basis of initiatives of state governments and union territories to implement good governance. Okay, so National E-Governance Plan of India, which aims to make all the government services accessible to the common man. And e-governance, if we talk about, it means on a click, governance is available. Okay, governance means what? That is the service which is being given by the government. Okay, services to the people by the government. That is what governance. Okay, and these services are in different ways. How government is functioning, what type of leader it is there, if it is able to understand the will of the people or not. What is the political insight of the leader? So too many things are there. Okay, so Right to Information Act of 2005, that ensures transparency in the governance. What is the meaning of that? RTI, that is also a service to the people. If people wants to know what has happened to so and so scheme, how it has been implemented, where it has been implemented, what is the success of this, so that is the people's right to know. And this ensure transparency as a part of the governance. Okay, what government is doing, that is opened, that is present before the public. Okay, so Niti Aayog has been established as a think tank by replacing Planning Commission. That is a policy commission established to achieve sustainable development goals with cooperative federalism. So when Niti Aayog was established, it was established with two main objectives: that India has to achieve sustainable development goals. How it will achieve? It will achieve on the basis of the recommendations given by the think tank. Think tank means what? If Niti Aayog is there, these are what? These are policy makers. Niti ka matlab kya? Policies. Okay, government policies. Okay, Ayog means what? That this is a commission which will formulate policies, and how they will formulate on the basis of by using their own thinking capacities. Okay, so that is why it has been named. It has been persuaded as a think tank. So this Niti Aayog is a think tank. Okay, they will analyze the country's situation. They will analyze the loopholes. Now they will recommend on the basis of that to the government, and government will do accordingly. And another also sustainable development goals that has to be achieved by 2030. So for the achievement of this, Niti Aayog has established. Another was to promote cooperative federalism. What is the meaning of cooperative federalism? Federalism means what? Federalism means a relationship which is being shared by the central government and the state governments. Okay, it means they are working together for the development of the country. And here, if we're saying cooperative federalism, before this, it was competitive federalism. Matlab kya? That every state will grow on the basis of competition with each other. Bihar ne acha kiya to UP kyun piche rahe? If UP is doing good, so why Bihar will follow it? Bihar will also do good. That is what? That is a competition, competitive federalism. But Niti Aayog, it is working on the principle of cooperative federalism. It means states, UTs, central government with states, they will cooperate each other in the development. Center will cooperate with the states. For example, in this scheme implementation, center give assistance to the states. For general states, it give assistance of 50% of the scheme amount. Then for the northern states, it gives for general 50 or 60, 50-50, 60-40. For hilly areas, okay, hilly states, 90-10 ratio is there, and for the northeastern states, 90-10 ratio is there. This is what? This is cooperative federalism. That central government is cooperating state and UTs. Then GST has made, GST Council has made. So GST Council means what? That all these chief ministers of these states, they are part of this council. It means implementation of GST, if it will be taken place, it will work on the basis of cooperative between all such states, state governments and the states. So these are promoting cooperative federalism. So Niti Aayog is a think tank with, which has been established with the objectives to achieve sustainable development goals and with cooperative federalism. Okay, so that was good governance in India. Then UN good governance, if we talk about. So United Nations identifies good governance under 8 characteristics. These are consensus-oriented, effective and efficient, follow the rule of law, participatory, accountable, responsive, transparent, equitable, and inclusive. So these are 8 pillars which has been identified by United Nations to achieve good governance. Okay. So that is all about this article. Koi question hai isme, you can ask me here. Voice stopped. अच्छा, when it happened. कहाँ पे नहीं सुन पाए? Anu, has everyone faced the same problem? No. Anu, there might be problem at your end then. अच्छा, कहाँ पे आप नहीं सुन पाए? You can tell me, I can repeat it once again. You are having class at 5:30, same class is going to repeat or other class. Rangoli, no, I don't have class at 5:30. It was there, that was Hindi medium. Okay, so I'm not going to. Today, I do not have any class. China has ranked 140 out of 104. हाँ, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. China has ranked at 104. देखो, governance, as I've said, okay, governance का मतलब क्या है? That is a service to the people by the government. That is the governance, है ना? And these services are in different ways. Okay, different types of services which is been given by the government to its people in terms of agriculture, in terms of defense, in terms of health, in terms of education. So these are what? These are services which is being given by the government to its citizens, and that is a part of governance. Okay, so that decides governance in the country. Okay. So here the Chandler governance Chandler's what is the name of that? Chandler governance, that has what is the name of Chandler Institute of Governance. So this institution has published its report, and as per that they have said that India has ranked 49 on the basis of 7 pillars. What are these? These are leadership and foresight, strong institutions, robust laws and policies, attractive marketplace, financial stewardship, helping people rise, global influence, and reputation. So on the basis of these 7 pillars, this governance has been governance index has been published. Okay, and on the basis of performance, India has been ranked to 49. So this is a good rank for India. Okay, where India was not doing good. India is not doing good in many of the indexes. So here India is at least doing good in the governance as per the report on the basis of these 7 pillars. Okay, so it has been said that other countries ranking has also been given. So out of BRICS countries, if we see, only Russia and India is under 50. Russia is at 48 and India is at 49. Other BRICS nations, they have not performed good. China 104, South Africa 70th. Okay, Brazil is at 67, China is at 140. So these BRICS countries, they have not performed good. Some only Russia and China is under 50. Okay, so here it has been said, it has been discussed in this article that this good governance, which has been published by Sharla Institute, so similar report is also being published in the country. In the country, who publishes this report? Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pensions. Okay, so they publish this good governance index. Beta, China has ranked 104. अच्छा नहीं, ये गलत है, 104 है out of 140, 104. Okay, ये numbering गलत हो गई है. 140 countries are there and China has ranked 104. Okay, I'm so sorry for this mistake. ठीक है, सुनो. So good governance day that is observed on December 25 every year. Okay, which is published by Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. ठीक है. Then national e-governance plan that has also been framed out by Indian government of the country. Here, all such government services, these are accessible. These are made accessible to every citizens of the country. Then RTI, it is also part of governance that it provides transparency of the government's policies. Okay. Then Niti Aayog established, as I've said, that was established with the objective to achieve sustainable development goals with cooperative federalism. Okay, so that was about India's good governance. Then United Nations good governance. So if we say United Nations good governance, then they have identified good governance on the basis of 8 principles. Okay, these are consensus oriented, effective and efficient, follow the rule of law, participatory, accountable, responsive, transparent, equitable, and inclusive. Okay, so that was all about this article. बेटा चाइना is not on last, it is on 104. Okay, अब चाइना ने क्यों, चाइना का रैंक इतना कम क्यों आया? Because of too many policies, as it has been ranked on the basis of those 7 pillars. So might be China is not performing good. On economic front, it is performing good, but that is the assertion of China. Okay, what is China? China is a manufacturer. Okay, it is a manufacturer of too many goods, whether electronic items and too many other items are there. Okay, but maybe it is not performing on another parameters. That is why it has been ranked lower. हाँ, जो भी है, it is not only based on that. It is based on too many factors. Okay, it is based on too many factors. So अभी Chandler ने इसका publish किया. How can I say that why China, they have ranked China lower? Okay, it is there. Chalo, next article, that is about CPRI report. Okay, CPRI is Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. You might have read this article in The Hindu recently. It has published 2 or 3 days before. So this CPRI report, that is on the military spending, how which country is spending how much on the military earnings, military equipment purchase or investments. Okay, so this is Stockholm-based International Peace Research Institute, and recently they have released Trends in the World Military Expenditure report. Okay, so as per the report, top military spenders in the world are United States, China, and India. अब देखो इंडिया यहाँ पे भी आगे है. Okay, so they are military spenders, top military spenders, USA, China, and India. And these 3 countries, they alone contributes to 62% of global military expenditure. Okay. In the report, it has been found out in the year 2020, USA has spent $778 billion on its military. China and India spent $252 billion and $72.9 billion. It means China spent 252 and India spent $72.9 billion on the military. Okay, so military expenditure of China, that has been shown, it has grown by 2.1% and China has grown by 1.9%. And USA's military expenditure has grown by 4.4%. So globally, military expenditure has increased to $1981 billion as compared to that of 2019. Okay, so that is 2.6% increase as compared to these many years. And on the other hand, global GDP is shrunken by 4.4% according to International Monetary Fund. So IMF has said that where global GDP has shrunk by 4.4%, and here military spending by these countries is being seen that it got increased by 2.6%. Okay. So military spending in terms of its GDP, it means countries how much they have spent on the military as compared to their GDP. So USA has spent 3.7% of its GDP on the military spending. India and China, it has spent 2.9% and China has spent 1.7% of its GDP. Okay, so India is the second contributor or spender basically. So military spending in Oceania, which region is there? Oceania includes Australia, Indonesia, and some other archipelago countries. nearby this New Zealand and Australia. Okay, so that is called Oceania. So Oceania and in Asia, spending has increased by 2.5% as compared to 2019, and it was 47% higher as compared to 2011. Okay, so other countries who spent large amount in building their military equipment, they were Russia, UK, Saudi Arabia, Germany, and France. Okay, so military spending, if you see, so these countries were increasing their expenditure on military, and some countries, they reallocated their planned military expenditure towards the pandemic. It means whatever they planned, their plans were to spend on the military expenditure, so they diverted their funds for the for the development during pandemic. Okay, to curb the pandemic. So these countries were South Korea and Chile, who spent their, or who reallocated their planned military spending on the pandemic. So other countries like Russia, Brazil, they spent less amount than what they used to spend on the military budgets. Okay, so according to the report, arms imports of India, that came down to 1/3 in 2016 to 20, which is in the comparison to that of 2011 to 15. But India still remained the second highest arms importer after Saudi Arabia. And in the decline of the arms imports of India, Russia was the affected supplier when India has dropped down its import. So Russia's business got hampered as Russia has affected its supply. So Russia had eventually increased its arms export to Algeria, China, and Egypt by replacing India. Okay, so report also state that USA, Russia, France, and Germany and China, that were on the top. Okay, and these were the top 5 arms importers in 2016 to 2020. Okay, so when India lowered down its import of military equipment, then and that was from Russia. So what Russia did? Russia diverted its export to other countries: China, Egypt, Algeria. Okay, so top arms imports, if we see, so top these arm imports of Egypt and Qatar, that has been increased by 136% and 361%. And Middle East arms import, that also increased by 25%. So top exporters, if we see, so these are USA, France, and Germany. And if you remember, in 2020, when pandemic broke out, that time India was in the agreement. India was in the basically it was in the stage of discussions with Russia, regarding its defense expenditure or defense spending. So warheads in India, if we talk about, so deployed warheads are missile located on the basis of bases with operational forces, and which are already ready to use. Other warheads are those that are reserved or stored awaited dismantlement. Okay, it means these are those equipments which still has to dismantle. Okay, and for India, report has given a future of 130 to 140 in other warheads. Okay, a figure of 130 to 140 in other warheads. It means India is going to purchase, or India is going to acquire these warheads. Okay, 130 to 140 in figure. So that is all about this article. Any questions in this, you can ask here. Chalo. Next article, that is about DRDO single crystal blade technology. So this, so DRDO has recently developed this single crystal blade technology, and this organization has delivered 60 of such blades to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Basically, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, they works along with DRDO in the country for the manufacturing or sparing parts of those technologies. So very few countries in the world, they possess this technology, and these countries are UK, USA, Russia, and France. Okay, so now what is the meaning of this single crystal blade? So helicopters which need powerful and compact aero engines so that they can operate in extreme conditions. So to achieve this, so that they can operate in the extreme conditions. So for this achievement, single crystal blades are required. These are essential. So these are made up of nickel based super alloys. Okay, and these alloys are capable of withstanding low temperatures. It means they can work very well in the low temperatures as well. Okay, so that is the this technology has to be used in the helicopters, and other countries, UK, USA, Russia and France are using this technology as already. So India is now stepped into this with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and DRDO. So normally the grain boundary technology is used in making blades. Okay, and the metal forms grains with solidifying. Okay, so basically grain boundary means what? That the metal, that is nickel, so that is in the forms of grains after solidification. Okay, and the metal alloys, these are being used in the making blades. So different metals in the alloy produce different grains with solidifying, and they create grain boundaries. And these grain boundaries, these are an interface between two grains or crystals. Grains means what? The crystals of the metal. Okay, so when these alloys are made in the form of grains, and then they are melted, and they are being attached with each other, so a grain boundary is being produced. Okay, is being created. So the grain boundary is what? That is an interface between two grains or crystals. That is in the form of boundary. It means the appearance would be in the form of lines. Okay, between these two grains. So this means that no boundaries will be formed here. Okay, so technology uses a vacuum investment casting process to release the blades, and that includes ceramic molding, wax patterning, and heat treatment. So these are those technologies which has been used for the to give the final shape of it. And it is essential to formulate special ceramic composition for the technology, and that involves making strong ceramic molds with withstands metallostatic pressure at 150 degrees, 1500 degrees Celsius. Okay, so smelting would be taking place at 1500 degrees Celsius. So then this ceramic mold is being used for the smelting. So creep, that is a tendency of blade material to deform at low temperatures. And what is the benefit of this single crystal blade technology? That it has longer life as compared to other technologies or other metals, and it is also corrosion resistant. So, okay, so nickel is corrosion resistant and it is having longer life. So it has been recommended. So only UK, USA, Russia, and France were using it, and India has now stepped into the usage of single crystal blade technology. Okay. Any questions in this? You can ask here. Chalo. Now moving on to the next one. Aditya L1 support cell. So a CSC, that is Community Service Center, it has set up on board India's first dedicated solar space mission. And this solar space mission is named as Aditya L1. Okay, so center is called ALISC, that is Aditya L1 Support Cell. And this is to be set up at Aries at Haldwani, which is in Uttarakhand. Okay, so what is the meaning of this Aditya L1 Support Cell? So it is a joint effort of ISRO and Aries. Okay, Aries, which is there situated in the Haldwani, Uttarakhand. ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, and Aries is Aryabhatta Research Institute for Observational Sciences. Okay, so center, and so this will be available as a community service center for the Aditya L1 mission. Okay, so this service center will accommodate guest observers, and it will help them by providing data for the mission to analyze the findings. So Aditya L1 basically that has to send to explore the what's say what is the outer three layers are there. So outer layer, that is called, what is the name of this, chrono or something like that, so I'm forgetting its name. Okay, so it will go on the exterior layer of the sun. So it will explore that. So whatever it will explore, it will be observing by the guest observers by using this service center, community service center. Okay, so it will accommodate those guest observers and will help them by providing data from the mission to analyze the findings. And it will bring all such data from the mission under one single interface. Okay, so this support cell will establish periodic training on data analysis, and it will also hold frequent e-workshops on this. So it means further discussions on those analysis can be taken place. Okay, so knowledge to be provided to these service centers will help scientists to connect the features in heliosphere to the surface of the sun. Okay, so Aditya L1, that is an Indian space mission which will study the sun and also region between Earth and sun, and it will carry 7 payloads developed by different institutions of the country. So one of the payload, that is VELC, which is visible emission line coronagraph. So that is what corona. Okay, what is the name of that sphere? That is corona basically. Okay, so so that will be named as VELC, visible emission line coronagraph, and satellite weighs 400 kilograms, and it is to be launched in the low Earth orbit at a height of 800 kilometers. So this orbit that is at the height of less than 1,000 kilometers from the Earth, and these are called LEO, that is low Earth orbit. Okay, so within 1,000 kilometer range, LEO exists. So it will, so this satellite will be launched in the LEO, okay, low Earth orbit, which will be weighed at 400 kilograms. Okay, so payload which will be sent by this Aditya L1, that will be called visible emission line coronagraph. Okay, so why Aditya L1 revised as Aditya L1 mission? Okay, Aditya 1 was revised as Aditya L1 mission. So satellite which has been placed in the halo orbit, okay, around the Langarajan point L1. So that has this is having advantage to view the sun continuously without any obstacle like eclipses. Okay, so this Langarajan point, that is, this gives an advantage that sun can be visible continuously without any obstacles even during the eclipses. So satellite is to be placed in the halo orbit around L1. Okay, and that is why it was named as Aditya L1. So earlier it was named as Aditya 1 only, but because it is going to be placed in the L1 point, that is Langarajan point, okay, which is the place from where sun can be visible at all the times, even during the eclipse. Okay, so it will place at that place and that location. So that is why it was named as Aditya L1. Okay, Aries, they are going to provide ground support to the monitor and coordinate the work on its payloads. So as we have discussed that this mission is working on the collaboration with ISRO and other agencies. So Aries is going to work to provide ground support, and this ground support will be provided to monitor and coordinate the work on its payloads, whatever it is going to carry. Okay, so first payload was VELC, what we discussed. Uh, as soon as when Corona time period will go, then Aditya L1 will be initiated. It has to be what was the time period? I think it was 2022. I'm not to remember the exact time, but when situation will get normalized, then it will be implemented. Okay, so work is going on. Whenever situation will get normalized, then it will be implemented. Okay, chalo. Any questions on this? Next article, that is large area certification scheme. So what is that all about? PGS is Participatory Guarantee System Certificate Program. So Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, they have announced recently that somewhere around more than 14,000, that is 14,491 hectares of land in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they will be given certificate as organic. So they will be or certified as organic. Okay, so that is the first large contiguous territory to be certified under government scheme, large area certification. So this large area certification, it is given to those territories, to those areas which promotes organic farming. Okay, so organic certification was provided under large area certification scheme of the participatory guarantee system certification program. Participatory guarantee system means what? Whosoever is the participatory of this program, so they will be given some guarantee. Guarantee is what? Certification would be given to them. So if this area is being certified as a organic, okay, organic land, then obviously government's scheme will be implemented to boost up the organic farming. And in the government scheme, what are the benefits is incentive, the subsidies which has been provided to promote organic farming. Okay, so monetary help will be given to the farmers over there. Okay, so what is this scheme all about? Large area certification. So under this, each village is considered as one cluster or group. Okay, and farmers, they have to adhere to these standards requirements without the need to undergo a conversion period to get certified. And it has been launched under Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. This Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, that has been launched in 2015 to promote organic farming, and Sikkim was the first state to be declared as organic farming. Okay, so here what is the idea? Idea was that to promote organic farming, and India is facing the problem of land fragmentation. So fragmentation means what? Division of land in smaller units. So here to go for organic, because organic farming, it is chemical less, okay, biochemical, not chemicals, but biofertilizers are being used for the production. Okay, so here you can see production because of biological sources. It is not so much as compared to the traditional agriculture practices. So here what government has suggested? Government has suggested that farmers of a village or a area, they have to make a cluster of land or group of land. Okay, so where these fragmentation of land has taken place, they can club their lands together and they can go for organic farming over there. So on the basis of this, the area would be certified as a large area under large area certification scheme. So when they will be certified, and so they will be given some incentives. The farmers will given some incentives for this, okay, and subsidies for this, so that they can go for organic farming over there on the land. Okay, so basically under the standard norms of organic production system, the area with the chemical input usage history will have to undergo a transition period for, of 2 to 3 years to get qualified as organic. And now see, in India, almost entire country's land is having chemicals. Why? Because people have used pesticides, chemical fertilizers. So if they want to be declared as an organic one, or to get large area certification, then what they have to do, what the farmers have to do, farmers have to take a 2 periods transition time, so that that chemical land can be converted into organic one, and they can get as qualified as organic. So this transition period has been removed under the large certification scheme. So there would be no transition period now. Okay. So Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, it was launched 2014, not 15, to promote natural farming, and there are more than 30 lakh hectares of registered areas holding organic certification. So India is ranked 5th in terms of area under natural farming and 1st in terms of total number of producers. So farmers, they are large in number, so it has topped in this, and area under natural farming, India has ranked on 5th place. So what is the meaning of participatory guarantee scheme? So that is a scheme which certifies organic products, and this scheme is implemented by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So this certification, that is in the form of statement or a logo, and this is issued based on the food safety and standards regulation. And this FSSR, that will be for organic foods only. So these regulations, these were notified by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India in 2017. That is a part of FSSAI. Okay. Any questions in this? You can ask here. Chalo, moving on to the next article, that is about Myanmar issue. So ASEAN's initiative on Myanmar. Okay. So recently, Government of India has welcomed ASEAN's initiative on Myanmar. So what is that initiative? Basically, what India has welcomed. So ASEAN, that is what Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and Myanmar is member of this ASEAN countries. So they have released a 5-point statement on Myanmar crisis. And under this statement, these countries, ASEAN countries, they have demanded immediate cessation of violence. Okay, immediate cessation of violence. And what are those 5 points? These 5 points are to end violence, to organize a constructive dialogue among all the parties, to appoint a special ASEAN envoy to facilitate the all-party dialogue, acceptance of aid. Special ASEAN envoy will visit Myanmar with military leader. Okay. Now, what is the issue of Myanmar? First, you need to understand that. Okay. What is the issue? Basically, what happened? Military of Myanmar has dismissed the government, which has been headed by Aung San Suu Kyi in February 2021. Basically, in February 2001, election has been conducted. And as per the constitution of Myanmar, what happened? 25% seats are to be reserved for the military when ASEAN got its independence from Britain. So military government used to be there. Okay, and not ASEAN, Myanmar. So Myanmar is a Buddhist country, and see, Buddhist is a peace-loving religion. Okay, but here what is happening? That is military atrocities. So now understand it. So as per the constitution of Myanmar, 25% of seats is to be reserved for the military. Okay, military personnel, and rest of the seats, the 75% of seats, the government or the parties, they have to attain, any party has to achieve more than 2/3 majority, okay, to come in the government. What happened? And if it does not if it doesn't happen, then what happens? Military would have its rule. Okay, if 75% seats, out of 75% seats, if any party would not be able to achieve two-third majority, then what would happen? The 25% seats which has been given to the militaries, okay, reserved for the militaries, now they would have their rule. So basically, it happened in Myanmar. Election happened, and government, which was headed by Aung San Suu Kyi, okay. So in February, it got dismissed, and 1-year emergency has been imposed by military. So when military has imposed this emergency, so it means military rule has imposed in Myanmar, and people, they are not in favor of military rule. People are in the favor of democratic rule. Okay, why? Because moreover, Myanmar is a Buddhist country. Okay, but because of military atrocities, and most of the population, they are Buddhist, but there are many other multi-ethnic communities who is living in Myanmar. For example, in the Rakhine state, Rohingyas, okay, they used to live, but because of military atrocities, they had been dispelled from the place, they had been displaced from the place, they had to leave out the country. Okay, and why drop down has been seen in the two-third majority during the election? Because Rohingyas, who used to be part of the citizen, okay, who used to be citizen of Myanmar. They had to leave the place. They had to illegally migrate to Bangladesh, then to India. So basically, they are out of their country. They are not able to vote in favor of the government. Okay, so lakhs Rohingyas they have displaced because of military atrocities. So what has happened? The vote bank has been dropped down. So in this situation, military has got the chance because whenever any government is not able to attain majority, then what would happen? Military overrule in Myanmar. So this is happening. So here people are protesting against this, and that is why many killings you would see. People are protesting against the Janta. That is called Janta, Junta. Okay, so issue is that in the month of February 2021, military of Myanmar has dismissed the government which is headed by Aung San Suu Kyi. So criticism has given the 5-point consensus that was created between ASEAN countries and the current military leader who has seized the power. And there have been massive protests in the country since the military has taken over. So consensus is being criticized that ASEAN is encouraging military coup, and consensus did not mention a timeline to resolve the issue. So it also neglected that political prisoners who has fought against this issue in Myanmar. So it is also neglected that. Then Brunei, that is the current chair of ASEAN. Okay, so under the current chairmanship, these five, what was that? 5 points had been given. That is to end the violence, organize ASEAN envoy to facilitate all-party dialogue, acceptance of aid from the ASEAN members, then special ASEAN envoy will visit Myanmar with the military leader. Okay, so here they are not. Janta basically, beta, जो military है ना, military rule को they call it as Janta. Okay, whatever military rule is there, that is called as Janta rule. Okay, so basically these 5 points which has been given by ASEAN, so these are not resolving the exact problem which Myanmar is facing. Okay, it is not talking about those political leaders, big political leaders who has been displaced, who has been arrested. Okay, so these are not the solution on the grounds basically. So here, what is the issue of Myanmar basically? So Myanmar, which has gained independence in 1948, and between 1962 to 2011, country was under the rule of armed forces, and it was ruling by military under the name of Burma. Okay, so military has changed the name of country from Burma to Myanmar. Both have same meaning, but they have changed it. So Aung San Suu Kyi, she was daughter of father of Myanmar. It was Aung San. Okay, Aung San used to be said as the freedom fighter of Myanmar or Burma by the time. So he used to be given the title of father of Myanmar. So she is daughter of that person. So she returned to Myanmar in 1988. And after coming back, she was put under house arrest and by military in 1989. Then in 2010, she was freed, okay, from the house arrest. Then in 2012, she fought election and she won by election and she took a seat in the parliament. So in 2015, National League for Democracy won the election and military was barred Suu Kyi from presidency. Okay, it means she could not become president of Myanmar. So a post had been created for her, that was state councillor. Okay, so that she can run the government on the name of state councillor. Then in February 2021 elections, National League for Democracy, they also won election. And Tatma Daw, which is name of the military leader, Myanmar military. So they declared state of emergency. Why? Because they were having 25% rule, 25% reservation. And it was mentioned in the Myanmar's constitution, if government is not able to secure, the large party government is not able to secure 2/3 majority of seats. Anyhow, they are winning. Okay, but 2/3 majority is not fulfilled. Then what would happen? Military would impose its rule. Okay, so that is why they declared this power their power is being transferred to the Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services. It means the power is being transferred in the hands of Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services. So now military ruling is there, and they have imposed a year of emergency. Okay, so that is there. Any questions in this? You can ask me. Chalo. Next question. Next article. I am moving on to that is about oxygen cylinder. So oxygen concentrator basically. As I have mentioned earlier that India recently in the second wave of coronavirus or COVID-19 देखो देखो म्यांमार में ना मिलिट्री और डेमोक्रेसी दोनों का टसल है, जैसे पाकिस्तान में टसल चलता रहता है या अफगानिस्तान में तालिबान और डेमोक्रेसी का टसल चलता रहता है. बट बेसिकली इन म्यांमार इफ आई टॉक अबाउट म्यांमार की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ही यही है, बिकॉज मिलिट्री रूल वाज देयर आफ्टर पार्टीशन, आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ म्यांमार. सो आफ्टर दैट Constitution of Myanmar has that was established. Okay, that was constituted, and in the constitution it has mentioned that 25% seats are reserved for them. Okay, and if none of the party come in the majority, then they would rule the country. So it is mentioned in their rule book, that is constitution. So that is why military government's power is overlapping on the democracy. So it is a democratic country, but democracy is situational in Myanmar. Okay, under Aung San Suu Kyi, democratic nature of government was there. Okay, so fully democracy is not there in Myanmar. That you need to understand. Chalo. Oxygen concentrator. So as I was saying that India is facing second wave of coronavirus, and this second wave is much stronger than the first wave. है ना? We used to hear corona cases or COVID-19 cases in the news, but nowadays we are seeing these cases in our families, in the near families, in the friends. It means second wave has penetrated into the society, and at this point of time the demand of oxygen has increased. Okay, whatever capacity of oxygen that used to have to the hospitals of the different states and places, so now the demand of oxygen has increased. Why? Because in the COVID-19 what happens, the lungs get choked because of excess of cough. So the therapy is what? To give oxygen so that life support could be given to the patients. So if number of cases are being increased and we are running more than 3,89,000 cases in a day. So till now, okay, last year's data, it was 3.89 lakh cases of COVID-19 was there in the entire country. It means many patients are there in the state. Many people are dying. Many people are falling ill and getting positive of COVID. So that is why oxygen demand has got increased. So government, what government did? Government is trying to import oxygen. They are trying to reopen those oxygen plants which has been shut down earlier because of so and so reasons. So whatever oxygen plants has been shut down, they are reopening it. They are trying to establish new plants so that in future these kind of issues can be resolved. But what is about the present one? The present situation, to resolve the present problem. So oxygen concentrator, that is concentrating oxygen from the atmosphere, and that has to be import. Okay, so government of India is now all sent to import 10,000 oxygen concentrators, and this oxygen concentrators basically it concentrates oxygen from the atmosphere. Okay, so how it works basically atmospheric air, it is having 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen, and oxygen concentrators, it accumulates air, it filters it through a sieve, okay, which sends nitrogen back into the air and it only collects oxygen. मतलब जो भी हवा है it is having nitrogen, oxygen, other minute gases. So it will only concentrate oxygen. It will send out all such other gases along with nitrogen. So oxygen in the oxygen concentrator, that is compressed and then it get dispensed through a cannula. Okay, so oxygen is somewhere 90 to 95% pure through this concentrator. So pressure value in the concentrator that helps to regulate the supply of oxygen from 1 to 10 liters per minute. Okay, I do not have picture of it, otherwise I would have shown you what kind of a very smaller device it is. You can keep it anywhere. It is not like bigger as cylinders or oxygen cylinders. So how it is different from oxygen cylinders basically, or medical oxygen. So oxygen from the concentrators is not as pure as liquid medical oxygen is. Why? Because it is having purity of 90 to 95%, and liquid medical oxygen, that is more pure. Okay, it has been extracted. So it is pure enough for mild and moderate COVID-19 patients. And it is suitable for patients who is requiring oxygen saturation level of 85% or above. So oxygen concentrators, these are not advisable for the ICU patients, but it is advisable for the COVID-19 patients. Okay. So these concentrators, they will provide only 5 to 10 liters per minute, and critical patients, they would require somewhere 40 to 50 liters oxygen per minute. So these concentrators, these are portable in nature, and liquid medical oxygen that needs to be stored and transported in cryogenic tankers, which is happening these days. Okay. So oxygen concentrators only requires power source so that they can draw in the ambient air, and liquid oxygen, medical oxygen, they need refilling of it. So concentrated, they can extract from the air. Okay, but medical oxygen, that need to get refilled. So concentrators are largely one-time investment, and which requires 40,000 to 90,000 rupees, but cylinder cost is 8,000 to 20,000. It means it is cost incurring. So concentrators, that requires minimal operating cost, which includes electricity and routine maintenance. And on the other hand, cylinders would involve refilling cost and transportation cost. Okay, but one major difference is that these concentrators are not advisable to ICU bed patients, but that is advisable to those patients which are suffering from COVID-19, who need 85% or above pure oxygen or saturation level. Okay, that is all about this. Any questions on this? You can ask here. Chalo, moving on to the next article. So Amitwa e-property cards had been distributed, and it was distributed on the Panchayati Raj Day, okay, which is celebrated on 24th April. So on the day of National Panchayati Raj Day, Swamitva e-property cards has been distributed. What is the meaning of Swamitva e-property cards? Basically, this Swamitva scheme, it was launched in 2020 on National Panchayati Raj Day. Okay, and this is survey of village and mapping with improvised technology in the village areas. Okay, the survey of villages, it means the land which is there in the villages. Okay, properties. So that is Swamitva is what? Survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in the village areas. So scheme is aiming to provide integrated property validation solution for the rural India. Under this, mapping is done in a phase-wise manner between 2020 and 2024. And it will map the land parcels, which will use drone technology, and continuously operating reference stations will be used for the demarcation of the land. So this scheme is currently applicable only in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Uttar Pradesh. Government of India, that has already allotted 7.965 crores for the schemes. Okay, so it is not a pilot all India project, but in some states it is concentrated. So what is the objective? What are the objectives of this scheme? It will provide financial stability to those people of rural areas who's having land and they can use it as the asset so that they can get loan on these lands. Basically, what happens in the village areas, that those lands are the lands which people are owning. These are called ancestral one. Okay, the heritage property. Okay, hereditary property. So these properties are not do not fetch loans. So now these lands will be mapped and these will be recorded on the records, and it will provide financial stability to people of rural India, as land can be used as a asset, okay, as an asset, so that they can get loan against it. And it will create accurate land records, and it will also help in better rural planning. It will help to support Panchayat development plan and also solve property related disputes in the rural areas. So these disputes are very much severe in the rural areas. So it will also solve all such property related disputes. Now, what are the benefits of this scheme? So over 6 lakh rural people, they are to be benefit from this scheme. Records of rights that is to be provided under the scheme through land or property registrations. So property registrations would be taking place so that proper record would be maintained. So it will also help monetize rural residential assets. You know, that is the biggest benefit of this, that loans can be given to them against the asset or land asset. Okay, that was all about this article. Any questions, any doubts in this, you can ask here. Beta, who is there? Arindam. Arindam, देखो, COVID cases, how it has got. It was, देखो, it has not gone from the environment. It was already there. देखो, basically what happens, there is a tendency of virus. Whenever we, whenever weather changes, okay, whenever we come from winter to summer season, summer to monsoon to winter season, okay, sorry, monsoon to autumn, then autumn to winter. So whenever any transitionary period takes place, and especially transitionary and rainy season, so these are the time when viruses get active. Okay, virus activation takes place during transition period, summer to winter, winter to summer, or summer to monsoon. Okay, so these are the time when virus gets concentrated in the environment. So coronavirus, it has not gone. It was there in the environment, but its wave has been lowered down. Okay, so virus comes, then its influence gets lower, then again it comes. So it had already been said by some of the experts, not by the WHO. WHO is not doing anything regarding coronavirus these days. I don't know why. So it has also already has been said last year only that this coronavirus will come in different phases. So India was in the first phase last year. Okay, and every phase of this disease will be much severe as compared to the last one. So government had few time, okay, so that they can do some preparations if we will face this situation, then what government is going to do. But government did not do anything. They did not do any preparation to tackle COVID-19 situation. Okay, all of sudden, day by day, the second wave entered, and cases got risen up, that got increased. Okay, so here what happens, basically coronavirus, if we talk about what was that, in the coronavirus, basically what happens, congestion in the chest that takes place, in the lungs takes place. Congestion, it means you would not be able to understand itna cough aaya kahan se, itna congestion aaya kahan se. Okay, so it is a kind of virus which attacks your respiratory system. So when your respiratory system is not working, then you would not be able to send oxygen which you are taking from your nostril. So oxygen will not be carried through your RBC. Okay, it will not be carried through your different parts of the bodies. That is why organ failure has been taken place in the first phase. And these days, heart attack, kidney failures, these things are happening with the coronavirus patients. Yesterday, that journalist Rohit Sadana, so he was also COVID positive, but I don't know. People are saying that he was found negative, but in the morning he got cardiac arrest. So it means coronavirus is impacting other organs as well. Why? Because oxygen is not able to go through in the another parts of the bodies because of congestion in your lungs. Beta Ankita, PDF or PPT, you can say. Or I think in the form of PDF, you will get that. Okay, don't worry for this. पहले सुन लो बेटा, इसको बाद में बात कर लेना. Okay. So that happens. अच्छा, यहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन का मतलब क्या है? Now, whenever saturation level of oxygen, okay, 85% or 90% saturation level comes, it means now people would need oxygen with the help of equipment. Okay, matlab people are not able to take oxygen on their own. Now they need some equipment, medical equipment. So that is why oxygen demand has risen up. ठीक है, अरिंदम? And waves means contagious flow. नहीं, wave का मतलब ये हुआ, wave का मतलब क्या होता है? That a flow which is coming back. Okay, a flow which was already there, but now it is coming back with some stronger element. Okay, that is the second wave or the waves basically. Okay, and everybody will get PPT. Okay, don't worry for this. One more thing is there. Many of the oxygen plants, especially in the southern India, that I think in Karnataka it is okay. It was got shut down. Why? Because whenever oxygen concentration takes place, okay, through the means of chemicals, what happens whenever oxygen concentration takes place? It releases different types of gases, and these may be dangerous for the health. So that has already been taking place. So that is why many of the oxygen plants had been shut down in the country, but again, it has to get opened up. Nahi beta, it will be shared on the aspiration and you will get notified for this. Okay. ठीक है, Arindam. तो क्या है जो ऑक्सीजन था that used to be generated for the medical purpose, okay, in the limited oxygen plants. Okay, so with the help of the chemical concentration or chemical whatever method they used to have, so in the extraction of oxygen, different poisonous gases used to get assimilated into the environment. That is why many of the oxygen plants that has got shut down. But again, if there is a need to reopen it. Okay, and we are not in the position that we will wait for the plant to get reopened and then concentration of oxygen would take place. That is why these oxygen concentrators that has come into the picture, that it will directly take oxygen from the environment and it will give out somewhere 90 to 95% pure oxygen to the patient. नहीं, unofficially नहीं है, that was officially, but environmental problem had not been resolved. Okay, environmental parameters had not been looked after when they set up. Okay, medical purpose के लिए तभी आप उसको use कर सकते हो when oxygen is 100% pure through whichever means it has been concentrated. Okay, when it is 100% sure, then only you can use it, and that is in the that is sealed in the cylinders, through which means it has been developed or it is being concentrated. So liquid oxygen that is 100% pure, and that is used for the medical purpose, and especially for those people who are on the ICU beds. Okay, that is there. Chalo. Coming back on the topic. So 116 Indian districts that has been reported zero malaria cases in 2020. Okay, so malaria, thank you. So malaria has been declared zero malaria cases has been declared in many of the districts of India. So Union Ministry of Home Health and Family Welfare that has recently reported regarding these 116 districts that these has been reported zero malaria cases in 2020. So what is the achievement all about? So in the year 2020, India reduced disease burden of malaria by 84.5%, where India has reduced deaths because of malaria. Malaria was a death cause for people as well. Okay, so death rates has also been lowered by because of malaria by 83.6% in 2020. So as per WHO, India was able to achieve this due to strengthened technical leadership, rejuvenated political commitment, prioritizing right mix of vector control measures. Okay, now here one thing which is suspicious, and that is my view. How come in a year, okay, in 2019 some cases were there, but how come in 2020 only we are able to achieve this no death cases of malaria? I don't know. But if WHO has said, it must have said on some basis. Okay. So some reasons has been given, and these reasons are that technical leadership has been strengthened, political commitment has been rejuvenated. It means campaigning has been initiated by the political parties or the political bodies, and right mixture of vectoral control measures has been prioritized. It means to curb the malaria cases or the mosquito problem in the area, the right mixture of chemicals has been taken place so that mosquito or the vector can be curbed. Okay, so India was one of the 18 countries which has endorsed malaria elimination roadmap of Asia Pacific leaders Malaria Alliance at East Asia Summit, which has been held in Malaysia in 2015. So under this alliance, leaders were agreed to eliminate malaria completely by 2030 from their region. So under this, India launched national framework for malaria elimination in India, and that was applicable for 2016 to 2030. So recent achievement that is a part of this framework, which is called Malaria Elimination Roadmap of Asia Pacific Leaders, Malaria Alliance at which has held at East Asia Summit. So it is this achievement is part of this framework, okay, which has been signed in Myanmar in 2015. So what is the framework all about? This malaria elimination framework. So this framework basically it is working under four objectives. And what are those? So to eliminate malaria, all category 1 and category 2 states that has to um, uh, that has to be formed, okay, under category 1 and category 2 by 2022, and to reduce the incidence of malaria to less than 1 per thousand population by 2024. Okay, then to interrupt indigenous transmission of malaria in category 3 states and union territories by 2027. So to prevent re-establishment of local malaria and maintain national malaria free status by 2030. Okay, so why such classification has been taken place and on what basis? So categories 0, 1 to 3 has been given. So 0 means those states and UTs which is having 0 indigenous cases of malaria. Then category 1 are those states and UTs which is having less than 1 case per thousand population. 1% hoga, ठीक है, less than 1% case per thousand population. Then category 2 states and UTs that will be having less than 1 case per thousand population, but some of the districts are reported greater than 1 case. Okay, then category 3 would be states and UTs with 1 person per 1,000 population at risk. Okay, so on the basis of this, category of states has been divided, and the framework has been given objective, okay, that from category 1 and 2 states malaria has to be eliminated by 2022. Then incidence of malaria has to be reduced to from those category states, okay, of category category 1 and 2 states by 2024. Then interrupt indigenous transmission of malaria in category 3 states and union territories by 2027. Then 2030 has been set to prevent re-establishment of local malaria and maintain national malaria-free status. Okay, from these many categories. Okay, any questions in this? You can ask here. Sure. Moving on to the next one, that is glacier burst has been reported in Sumna Niti Valley. Sumna, which is nearby Niti Valley, which has been shared by India-China. So it is located on the India-China border, and it is nearby Nanda Devi National Park. So it is important for the prelims examination because these kind of location UPSC asked in the prelims paper. So on April 23, 2021, glacier has reported to be bursted in Sumna Niti Valley, which is located in the Chamoli district of India-China border. So Border Road Organization camp under that came under avalanche. Okay, and the Indian Army that has so far rescued to 91% over there. So February 2021, flash floods occurred in the same district because of glacial burst, which killed many people. And before this, breaking of Nanda Devi Glacier, which triggered avalanche and landslides and flash floods in tributaries of Ganges. So floods because of breakage damaged two hydroelectric power projects. Basically, these states, these regions, these are very sensitive, very delicate. Okay, so what's a big or heavy infrastructure developmental projects cannot sustain in these areas. So that is why these areas are now more prone to natural disasters. And basically, these are not natural ones. These are because of human-made activities. So these are human-made disasters. Okay. So criticality of this issue, so according to United Nations ESCAPE, that is Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, glaciers in India, Bhutan, Nepal, and China says that these regions have lost a vertical foot and half of ice since 2000. It means the mountain or the vertical height that has got reduced half of what it used to be there in 2000. So since 2000, now ice sheet and the vertical foot has lowered down to half of it. So that is double the amount of melting that has occurred between 1975 and 2000. Okay. So what was the cause of the glacier burst? So that was caused by the buildup of water pressure, and high temperature coupled with the less snowfall accelerates melting and caused water to rise to dangerous levels in the glacial dams. So when water pressure raised, then it led to the break of glacier. Okay, then it led to the avalanche. So this increases water pressure and it led to glacier burst, and glacial dams are formed when glacier block the flow of water out of a lake. So unlike the usual lakes, glacial lakes are made of ice boulders that have potential to burst the glacier banks as well. So Nanda Devi glacier burst that occurred in Uttaranchal, that might be because of one such reasons. So however, real reason behind the glacier burst is yet to found, but it was found that because of water pressure, it got broken down. 2013 Kedarnath tragedy, that was also because of this cloud burst. Okay, so this kind of situation we have seen in 2021 as well. Okay, so it is all plain, but what you need to understand, you need to understand the geographical phenomena, that you need to have your eyes on the all such locations, Nanda Devi National Park, okay, other sanctuaries and wildlife sanctuaries and parks over there. So this is important. Then river system, okay, that you need to work upon. Then National Panchayati Raj Day, we have discussed about Swamitva scheme. Okay, so Swamitva scheme that was launched on the National Panchayati Raj Day itself, that day is celebrated on 24th April. So every year this National Panchayati Raj Day is celebrated on 24th April, and first National Panchayati Raj Day, which was celebrated by Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in 2010 on the same day. So since then it is in the effect. Okay, it has been celebrated. So this year, our Prime Minister launched Swamitva scheme on National Panchayati Day, and more than 74,000 panchayats are participatory in the National Panchayati Raj Awards 2021, which is 28% higher than the National Panchayati Raj Awards, which has been given in 2020. So there are more than 2.6 lakh panchayats in the country, which is existing right now. Okay. So awards which has been given to these Panchayati Raj, under this Panchayati Raj Day. So Deen Dayal Upadhyay Panchayat Sashaktigaran Puraskar, which has awarded on the day. Nanaji Deshmukh Rashtriya Gaurav Sabha Puraskar, which has also been awarded to Gram Sabha. And apart from these awards, Child Friendly Gram Panchayat Award and E-Panchayat Award are also presented on the day. So Panchayati Raj system, if we talk about, so this has came in effect with an act, okay, that came in 1993. And because of that, National Panchayati Raj Day has been celebrated since then. So it was introduced through 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, which established Panchayati Raj system in the country, which was recommended by Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. And I hope you have idea or details of this. Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay. So what are the features of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act? They have same features. Only difference is that 73rd is for the Panchayati Raj and 74th is for the municipal corporation. So every state shall have a Nagar Panchayat, municipal corporation and municipal council. Similarly, for Panchayati Raj institution, it would be a 3-tier body. Okay, Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat. Then there would be an advisory body, Zilla Parishad. Okay, so these are 3 tiers, I guess. So all these seats in the municipality that has to be filled by persons chosen from direct elections. So direct elections will be taken place, and who is eligible to get elected? A person should be citizen of India, should have completed 21 years of age. Okay, so these are some minor qualification to get elected by the people. So a ward committee shall be constituted. The the seat in the local bodies shall be reserved for STs and SCs, scheduled tribes and scheduled caste, and for women as well. So establishment of independent election commission in each state, that has also been made a feature of this 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Then establishment of finance commission in each state. So these are some big features of 73rd and 74th Amendment Act. Okay, so these are all of the day. Any doubts in any of the articles, you can ask me here. Okay. Any questions, any doubts on this? On any of the articles, you can ask here. Chalo guys. So I think that is all for the day. All such important articles we have discussed in this session. I hope it is useful for you. So just study hard and go through it. I'll share the PPT right now with the team, and it will get uploaded on your aspiration. So you can access from there. Study hard. Have a good weekend. Have a nice day. Thank you so much. We'll meet on the in the next session. So till then, bye-bye. Thank you so much, Arindam. Same to you. Thanks, Mohar. Have a nice day to you too. So bye-bye, guys. The final bye.